It is a real family sport.
Well, this is a match that ain't going to trouble the top end of the table, but it means so much to both these teams. Castleford's first win of the year was against these opponents on this very ground back in March. Judah Rimbu late try, helping them to a 22-14 win that day. They'd love to repeat that, but Salford likewise are looking for only their second match of the season, their second win of the season. And I'm sure they'll be stung by defeat that day. So we're underway with plenty to play for, and Salford will have first touch of the ball. Ormonroyd driving it in and taking his side as far downfield as possible. And you made the point, John, when we were chatting before. This is a relatively strong-looking Salford side from what we've seen at times this season.
Yeah, I'm expecting this to be a close game, actually. I don't think either side has got any real form to speak of, but you look at names and faces, and this is a more familiar-looking Salford side that are running out today. Short side, they're playing expansive in the opening set.
They are. They're playing in the style that we are used to watching of Salford in the last 2 or 3 years. Pick up and a play by Masters, back towards the middle it comes, and taken on again. Roddy Makin, who's on loan from Wigan, taking that tackle. Shorrock's in there, Briley's in there as well, some familiar faces. Nikarima goes left. So Ryan is stopped, and it's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, late in the tackle count as well. Just look at the Salford side. Yes, I mean, they're willing to play, but they've also got round pegs in round holes now. You've got, Briley, whilst he's not in his accustomed fullback position. Ethan Ryan, who had the penalty conceded against him, I think he's a very, very good player. That back line, we were talking before we came on, that back line looks pretty experienced and people positionally correct. I'm expecting this to be a close game, actually.
Well, the kick's out of play, and with Castleford not yet having hand on ball, Salford find themselves in a terrific attacking position here. It's MacDonald who takes the tap and hoists it back towards the middle. Ryan now will take them on himself. Playing at full-back today, Ethan Ryan. Down he goes. Into dummy half is Hill. Skipping it left again through the hands of Briley. Referee says OK. Johnny Vaughan will collect it. Wearing that red scrum cap, of course, the man on loan from St Helens. He's going to be at Wigan next year, isn't he? It's back now for Toby Warren to have a drive, but 3 Castleford defenders ready to meet and greet. Hill again. Briley offering it back on the inside to a couple of winning runners. Nikarima puts it back. Little step away. This is looking good from Nenny MacDonald, and he gets the offload, and a flick from behind. It's carried, and Ormonroyd is just about there. Some clever hands from Matty Foster in all of that as well. It's a dive for life from Hill, but he's held up. And they go back the 10 to start again.
Well, if we were in any doubt before a ball was kicked, we're not anymore. This is the Salford side who've come to play. George Hill started the season at the Castleford Tigers, nearly went over.
Out it comes to this right-hand side. Masters again, gets it away, there's a juggle, and it's put out of play, eventually by Innes Senior, but it'll be a drop out underneath the sticks. Castleford have been started possession here. And
a very early sign as well that Nenny MacDonald, just the danger that he poses from that left-centre position, popped up on the right, didn't he, earlier in that set, carries the ball in one hand, that trademark single grip. Very, very powerful athlete.
Well, we're being told the owners are here today, the Salford owners. And there have been so many worries surrounding this club. You're just going to sense these players today have just thrown off the shackles and thought, you know what, let's just go and enjoy yourself. That's the early sign at the very least. Here's Hill. Shorrock's now just offering it off again for Harvey Makin to have the drive in. Hill against, as John was saying, some familiar faces, some friendly famous. Nikarima just evading the tackle of Sinny, who made contact but not telling contact, so it's allowed Salford to make strides again. Shorrock's shuffling forward. Hill, suddenly numbers come to this right-hand side. Ormonroyd with a late switch, puts it back to Nikarima. Dummy and a turn, but grabbed a hold of by Mustafa. They're on the last play. Briley trying to sled it through, and it's taken easily enough by Texoy, who can clear it And hip hip hooray for Castleford fans' point of view. They've got hands on ball at last.
Yeah, defended a couple of sets, haven't they? And this, you know, if Salford have got an Achilles heel, I mean, we say this every week, the players have been fantastic, haven't they? The professionalism is shown with everything that's going on off the field, but they have really struggled to get over the try line. 59 points in 10 games played. That is where they struggle. So they enjoyed a bit of early position, but they've got nothing to show for it.
Well, they've got an Achilles heel on both legs, because they not only can't score points, they've conceded 390 as well, haven't they? That's the problem. Some big scores against them so far, but Castleford know the way to beat Salford, or at least one iteration of Salford this season. Can they find it again? Assie's kick, taken safely enough by Hankinson, runs it back and almost pushes his way through a couple of defenders. Nikarima. Here's Ryan. Jogging back to dummy half goes Hill. Looking left. Here's MacDonald. Shorrocks. Nikarima. Oh, he never had that ball under control, did he? And he was trying to pass away without it. And offside, Ormonroyd was in front, so it's going to be a penalty for Cam.
Yeah, and once again, Salford just... It all looks pretty, doesn't it? But just really rusty. You know, regulation spread play. Just the ball never really secured by Jaden Nikarima. And the Castleford Tigers, well, it's now their turn to ask some questions early on.
Well, it looks vibrant, doesn't it? And it feels vibrant at the moment between these two sides. Oh, here's an opportunity for Hoy, who goes skipping back on the inside and has found a way. First attack of the day for the Tigers. First chance they've been at that end of the ground. And Tex Hoy, with wonderful ease, gets in for the first try.
Training ground move from the Castleford Tigers. First bit of attacking position and possession. And they'll work through this. They'll go through the reps on the training field. They pulse out from the tap, switch in play. Tex Hoy draws passes in the Salford Red Devils defence. You would like to think they get a rerun of that. They were doing a whole lot better. Yes, Tex Hoy is a well-balanced, evasive runner, but there were enough Salford Red Devils players there to cut that short. So, first examination of the line, first breach of the Castleford Tigers line, of the Salford Red Devils line, in the shape of Tex Hoy. And he's better known this season for providing tries. He leads the try-assist charts for the Tigers. He gets on the scoreboard for Danny Maguire.
It's his third of the season, isn't it? In all comps. Tex Hoy.
Yeah, there's nobody trouble in the Super League rankings, top 10 rankings from either of these sides, but you know, just those names to point out. Tex Hoy, boatload of try-assists last year after he joined from Hull FC and picked up where he continued. And Nene MacDonald, I mean, you get a chance to watch him last year. I mean, he was in the Super League top 10 at the end of the season for meters, carries, tackle breaks.
So Rowan Milnes with a chance to add 2 here. Left-footed, not much of a run-up, didn't need much of a run-up. Kicking style is spot on, and Castleford lead by 6 points to 0, having been under the pump for the opening 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, just absorbed a bit of pressure, got themselves into position. He's a very well-balanced runner, he's Tex Hoy. I have to say, I think the defence was very, very passive there.
So here we go again, Ryan Riley with a big kick of the ball. Cindy with a catch, and forward it is brought. We've not mentioned Tom Amon much, have we?
Well, you mentioned him now because he's come up with a mistake. He's rushed to play that ball, Dave, and he's asking for a challenge. He's begging for someone to challenge this, but I think Sam Wood has heard his pleads.
Well, you'd think he must be certain to go so early with the captain's challenge.
Castleford is challenging the decision of a knock-on.
See from the video referee.
No, you can't challenge it.
Okay, we have a captain's challenge. a captain's challenge. Castleford are challenging the decision of a knock-on. Tom Amone in possession. Okay, at this point, the referee has called the tackle complete. Just want to check to see that the tackle is complete. Okay, yeah, at this point, the tackle has been called complete. Let's just ride that back.
Tommy's just going to make the decision.
Okay, even though the tackle has been called complete, players have fallen off the tackle. So Ormond Royd is entitled to go into the ruck and make the tackle. So it's going to be challenge unsuccessful.
Well, there you go. They've blown it. That little C underneath Castleford disappears. No more captain's challenges for them. Challenge unsuccessful. And Salford will get it back.
Right, I mean, it looked from 50 metres away like it was just a poor play, the ball. He certainly won the collision, did Tom Amone. He skittled a couple of Salford Red Devils players, but yeah, just not really in control of that one. So, again, another opportunity for the Salford Red Devils. We've got some interesting shape here, some nice depth. And see what they can do with a full set of 6. I mean, they'll be inside Castleford's red zone, inside a tackle here.
Well, we will talk about Tom Amone in more glowing, positive circumstances, I'm sure, before the match is finished. But there was a late shot here. And this is going to be a penalty for Salford, right in front of the sticks. I think Ryan Briley let it go, and then he was clobbered. There you go. Referee deciding that that was worth a penalty.
Muiz Mustafa will be claiming he got there as quickly as he could, but let's say a late challenge on the passer. Passes in a to execute a good quality pass, you've got to be relaxed at the point when you pass the ball, and that's where they're at the most vulnerable. So correct decision.
Can he tap the ball?
Well, effectively, it's just a restarted tackle count, isn't it? Because they're not going to go for goal at this stage, and trailing as they do by 6 points to 0. So the tackle count starts again with a tap.
That's you, Jack. Go,
and here's Shorrocks putting it back to Nicarima. Briley's involved again. Hankinson out there, but so many Castleford players. There were 5 or 6 who got across there. Simply nothing on when Hankinson had the ball. Back to Briley again. Shorrocks. Nicarima. Well, they're going all the way to the right-hand side. They're going all the way to the left. Here's Nenny MacDonald. 3 tackles gone. Vaughan just slammed in by Toby Warren. Shorrocks again, and hoisted forward by Makin. Last play here for Salford. Hill just slotting in there. Nicarima, they're going through hands. They're trying to promote it as well, but Matty Foster goes down with ball in hands, and Salford simply have to hand it over.
Yeah, a good bit of defence there as well from Sam Wood. Managed after the initial impact to wrap up the ball, so there was no chance of an offload. With the Salford Devils, they got a chance to apply a bit of pressure here to put the Tigers in a corner. Line speed is reflecting that. They're front-loading their energy here in this set to try and restrict Castleford Tigers' metres and get the rewards in the next possession.
Horn comes out, Salford offside. It's a killer penalty to give away, that, isn't it? Offside. Suddenly, and as we say every time we come here, from defence into attack doesn't take much on such a small, tight ground, and Cass now are on attack as Lawler puts his back into it. Liam Horn. This is Amone, who's scrambling through an attempted tackle from Foster. Liam Horn waits again, comes to this left-hand side, and the miss-out ball has missed everybody out. Just flying past Innes Senior's outstretched arms.
Yeah, the idea was right, wasn't it? I think they created, with the disruptive run from Tom Amone, and Dejan Hazard looked short side, and the quick catch and pass from Alex Mellor just didn't go to Innes Senior's hands. So a let off for the Salford Red Devils. Castleford Tigers, they've not been tidy, have they, either this season. There's two sides that have been in the doldrums a little bit.
Opportunity here now to stretch their legs and stretch their intentions as Nenny MacDonald finds 3 Castleford defenders for company as he gets in there. Hill again. Shorrocks just taken in and down, and plenty of time in that ruck, and too much time in the end. It's good to see the referee giving a penalty for that. Generally, there has been a criticism of the slowness of the rucks, hasn't there? And Briley's not found touch. Oh, that is a waste. That is a poor attempt. And it means that straight away, Castleford coming forward again. Cini comes skipping away. Liam Horn in at dummy half. Castleford with 2 plays gone already. Back in the half of the game that they want to be. Amon. Here's Horn. Another set. It was slow, so at that end of the field it's 6 again rather than a penalty. Horn. Oh, lovely little step back on that inside to find a bit of a gap, but just grabbed at and pulled down by Hill, but losing the ball, and Ormonroy comes bouncing forward. Well, there's plenty happening, John.
Oh,
Might not all be good, but it's plenty happening.
The best and worst of Liam Horn in 3 seconds. Just real fizz out of dummy half and real danger, but again, then just that looseness at the back of it. And Jack Ormonroy, who was an open target at the Castleford Tigers when Salford started with their financial worries, picked up the pieces.
Belted back inside their opponent's half by a stride or 2 by Makin. MacDonald skipping in, getting that arm free. You could see that, but has made it a gift for Lawler. Lawler the sharpest to react there.
Jeez, look. Any danger of a game of rugby breaking out at any point? I mean, there's the side that just gets to the end of a set of 6 and applies a modicum of pressure.
Westerman plays, Horn comes away. Mills opposite back up. Mustafa comes driving forward again. That's a big effort from him, but 3 defenders have his number, grapple him to the ground. It's left again to Assi, and Amon won't thank him for that pass because Foster was straight in his ribs. And now there are only 2 plays to go. Horn again. Lawler, Mills, little show and try to go. Horn back up there for what will be the last play. Massey puts it up in the air, but it's safely pouched on that far side by MacDonald, and a decent attempt at clearing it away as well.
Yeah, just one thing I noticed with the Salford Red Devils defence, they're really moving on suspicion. They are forcing the Castleford Tigers to abort plays on more than one occasion in that set. And Tom Amon got that short ball, and that's because Jaden Nikarima had come out the line and really shut down the other pass option.
Slung back to Shorrocks again. Briley involved once more. Nikarima across the line. Little hand flicked away from Masters. Hankinson tries to pick a path back down the middle and finds clear running room as well. He's been hounded by Castleford defenders. Cini eventually get there to make the tackle, but Salford suddenly flowing forward again. Briley with a kick and the chase here. Backed himself, but Hoy always in position. Hey, but he's lost it. And Salford have it back on a 0 tackle to set the platform once more.
Well, again, what a crazy passage of play. Ryan Briley thought that Tex Hoy was not going to get there, was out of position, but the Castleford fullback did very, very well, but then came up with an error of his own. Salford Red Devils, this must be the 5th or 6th time they've been down this end of the field. Can they make something stick here?
Hill waits, Ormonroy to his left. It looks like he fancies it, but it goes back to Briley. And Briley now with a short pass. There's not many numbers there in Castleford's defence, but it turns out enough as Toby Warren is denied. Nikarima and Ormonroy puts his back into it. But again, too solid in defence for him to make the mark he was looking to. Shorrocks. Here's Briley and Ethan Ryan, and Senior came out to close him down.
That's good work. Good work from the centre and the winger, working in tandem. Really solved a big problem there.
Shorrocks. His mind made up for him by Joe Westerman, who just grabbed a hold and pulled him down. It's Hill again. Nikarima and left. Well, he has got it away. He's done well there, has MacDonald. Ball again on the ground, and Castleford have it back.
Jeez, scrappy, isn't it? Really scrappy. Neither side able to finish the set in the manner in which they would like.
Sim. Horn. Westerman. Stoutly does it as Castleford edge their way back towards the halfway line. Mustafa. Horn spins it and Lawler now. Quick hands, good hands as well, and suddenly there's a chance to run free here from Mellor. Back on the inside for Sam Wood, but Foster's there to cut him down, and I think Wood's asking a question of his teammate as to why and how he got that ball. It's Assi who puts it high. Vaughan looking to commit, but the highest is Cini, and Cini will score. Well, he got himself there when nobody from Salford did. And Zach Cini is in for Castleford's second try. When they get position, they are taking advantage.
Yeah, well, the Castleford Tigers, they do manage to put a full stop to what has been an incredibly scrappy passage of play. I mean, just take a look at the amount of errors here from both sides, failing to find touch and then overplaying from Liam Horn. Again, switches in possessions, neither side able to get to the end of a set, get to a kick, try to apply any sort of pressure. I mean, Texoy losing the ball on the first tackle was criminal, but it just shows you that when you do get yourself into position and you get to the end of a set, you give players like Zach Cini the chance to get airborne, take control and post a second try for the Castleford Tigers. Nice kick from Dejan Arce. Cini really committed to that one. It kind of dropped in no man's land for the Salford Red Devils, didn't it?
Well, that, by the way, is the 400th point that Salford have conceded this season. And that's not really been the story of them this year, has it? All the story has really been off the field. All the problems they've had, but that is the direct response to what's been going on off field is what's been going on field.
Yeah, it's been a real sorry tale, hasn't it? Everything off the field, which again, you know, is why you put nothing but praise on the shoulders of the players who do turn up week in, week out.
Mills, again, he's efficient in the run-up, and he's efficient in the strike, and 12 points to nil. Castleford now lead.
No, it just goes to show, doesn't it? Complete a set, get yourself into position. The two sides that are low on confidence, opportunities like that, if you get yourselves into position, are there for both sides. Both Salford and for the Castleford Tigers. The Tigers have shown the first example of how that's achievable, how that's possible. Now let's see if the Red Devils can respond here.
Well, the challenge offered up in the first instance by Tom Amon. What a great signing that is for. I know he's going to Hull KR next year, isn't he? But what a great signing for the rest of this season.
No, he's really given him some authority in the middle, and he's some punch. We know what a brilliant couple of seasons he had with the Lee Leopards. And you're right, it'll be a Robin in 2026, but
yeah, back to the Bulldogs. Never really made a go of it back there, did he? This year, Bulldogs are doing very, very well in the NRL. Here comes Lawler. 5 gone, 1 to go. He wanted another set there. Instead, it's kicked high by Assi. And underneath it is Ryan, who almost jumps through the defenders in catching that.
That's a good take, really good take. He was under a bit of pressure there. There were plenty of kick chases from the Tigers. Really committed from Ethan Ryan.
Masters and now MacDonald. move Cass left to right and right to left, no matter where they are on the field. Don't mind a bit of go forward as well, provided by the youngster Toby Warren, on loan from Leeds. He came here, or came to Salford, I should say, when Callum Watkins went to Leeds, of course. Nicarima, Ryan, looking to try and step inside Assi. Nicarima. Back it comes to Hill. Briley. Oh, that's a shot back to Nicarima again, and he puts the kick and chase in. Second time one of Salford's halves has done that, and each time it's landed up by hook or by crook in the hands of Tex Hoy, who's turning this from defence into attack very quickly.
It was a little bit more enterprising from Salford. They decided to run on the last, but the kick from Nicarima was for nobody but Jayden, and unfortunately for the Red Devils, nobody else really knew that was on.
Westerman. Propping it in. Mills back to Assi, and it's swung across to this left-hand side to Wood, and here now comes Innes Senior, who's being dragged towards the touchline, but Sam Wood makes sure that isn't the eventuality. Miller. One last play, sudden switch to this left-hand side, which gives Assi the chance to put it up in the air. Wood up there, offloads it back to Assi again. Mills quickly to Amon. Here comes Lawler with a kick from the prop to the in-goal area. The chase is on, but it's out of play. Well, rush of blood, prop forward, kicking for the in-goal.
I'll tell you what, fine margins though, because if there's a Tigers player who could have grounded that, well, I'll tell you, that would have been on this man's highlight reel for the rest of his career. Prop forward crossfield kick for a try. Wasn't to be, 7-tackle set.
Well, there was a Castleford number 10. You could imagine doing that in days of yore. Lee Crooks was a bit skillful in that department. Riley offering it off, and Makin will take it in. Nicarima. Masters with a flick. Back by Ryan. Nicarima. Here's Shorrocks. Well, that's scruffy pass, but Rowan can pick it up. Briley. Nicarima again, and hint to the line. It's Vaughan who's standing on that left-hand side. Named on the tee sheet with Vaughan in the centres and MacDonald on the wing, but that's very much a reversal between those two. The kick is high, but it's an easy one for Hoy to take, and not only that, because he's in the in-goal, he can take the tap and run it clear, and look at that. So the tackle count starts from there. Again, Cass close to that halfway line.
Really good stuff from Tex Hoy. He was on the money there, knew exactly where he was, got the opportunity for a quick start, and don't forget, 7-tackle set, first tackle here now, and they're already in Red Devils territory. Thank the fullback for that.
Well, you'll notice that Chris Atkin is on the field. Odd game for him, I would have thought. Chris Atkin, who up until fairly recently was a Salford player. Put all that to the back of your mind, I guess. Mills for Lawler. Atkin. Mills. Assi, and Mellor gets it away, and a chance for the corner. Well, it was close in the end. Innes Senior diving in. We are inevitably going to the video ref.
On-field decision, he's try.
Try in the field.
Just confirm touch and
You back the reputation, I guess, in some occasions. But we're going to the video ref to see if Innes Senior has got this down.
Okay, we have a live call of try. We're checking the ground in and touch and goal. Senior in possession. and grounds the ball. I've viewed the angle I need. I've made my decision.
Well, the technology made it absolutely obvious, but in his senior's past reputation would maybe have told you that he was very much favourite to get there and score. It's a third Castleford try of the afternoon. They lead by 16 points to 0.
Yeah, he covers the ground really well, doesn't he? In his senior, an accomplished finisher, his 5th of the season. And just another of these one of these modern-day big, tall, rangy athletes. You see the ball look like a little golf ball in his hand, didn't he? One-handed grasp. This is the break that started it all. Great positioning from Texoy, never took his eyes off it, and it put Castleford Tigers in position, didn't it? Milnes out to RC, and then again quick hands from Alex Mellor. That's a great finish in the corner under pressure from Ethan Ryan from his senior. When they get themselves into position, the Tigers, they look clinical. They're looking a lot smoother than I've seen for much of 2025. Things starting to click, certainly in attack.
Would you have it down as a 16-18-0 game at the moment?
No, I mean, what I would say is that the Castleford Tigers, when they've got in position and pulled the trigger, they've been a lot more effective, a lot more clinical. They have executed, to use rugby league parlance, and the Salford Red Devils just haven't, have they?
I love it when you use the rugby league parlance, John.
Stand back on.
There's Milnes with the kick. That looks good, and the scream from the referee tells you it's good.
Yeah, well, senior finished it off, but you got to credit Texoy for this. It's just his awareness, situational awareness, knew he was in the in goal, and then took off, didn't he? Get the 7 tackle set, but what was more important than the extra tackle was that the awareness to get himself in position. It really meant that the Tigers could finish the end of the set in a good spot, and in his senior grounded in the corner. 3rd try Tigers.
Yeah, those 7 tackle counts, you very often see 0 at 10 metres further forward than where it started. He was a good 20 metres further forward, wasn't he?
Really took the impetus, didn't he, and made a very, very good set, very good opportunity for the Tigers. They're looking like they're going to spread here as well. I think they've got Salford short.
A couple of changes have been occurring whilst all that has happened. Justin Sangare's on the field for Salford. You can see there he's involved in that tackle. Milnes with a kick towards the touchline, and that is a really difficult position for Ethan Ryan to deal. And that's exactly what Castleford's intention was.
It's a really good set in possession after points, and they've put the Salford Red Devils right back where they want them. They've got to go 90 metres here if they want to register anything. And I have to say, for all the movement side to side, and we're seeing this and all the second phase play.
Oh, this is good. Nenny MacDonald stretches the legs. Ryan Brierley's trying to keep up with him. Went on the inside path because Castleford defenders were flooding back. MacDonald still going. Brierley now gets it from a standing start. Lovely ball over the top for Foster, and Hankinson's doing his level best to get up there in support. This is Hankinson, but a great recovery from the Castleford defence. They're back in so many numbers, and in his senior makes it.
It just goes to show, I mean, you know, Nenny MacDonald, just what an athlete he is. Because nobody could live with him.
Masters across to Brierley. Brierley now. Oh, did that get a hand, a Castleford hand? Well, Vaughan knocks it back in. Doesn't want to take the risk of that decision. Keeps it alive for Salford. And here is Warren. Toby Warren. 3rd appearance since his move to Salford for that young fella. Shorrocks. Nikarima sticking it high. Hankinson underneath it, and backwards it goes. Nikarima, and now Shorrocks. They're looking for a way through. Brierley just putting the foot on it, through the legs of Masters, through the hands almost of Ryan. Now he'll put the kick on, but Hoy's there again, and he spins away from that first pressure and finds the ground 15 metres clear of his own line.
That's great play from Tex Hoy. Ethan Ryan with a cute kick on the short side, but Hoy's positioning's been excellent this afternoon, this evening, and a pirouette on the catch as well to evade the despairing attempted tackle. Yeah, he's had a good start to the evening as Tex Hoyt.
This is Atkin calling the shots, calling players towards him. Westerman is the pick for the pass. Coming on at good speed. That's Sam Hall.
Ah, dear Sam. It's a great first carry on his introduction. His first game in some time, as you'd said previously, Dave, and just got a little bit overexcited. He's a great young kid, is Sam. That's a solid carry, but just got overexcited, didn't he, and tried to play the ball too quickly. Here's the McDonald break. I mean, they were going side to side, and it all looked pretty. He needed someone to straighten it up, didn't it? There was nobody who could get in touch with him. Tex Hoyt just gets enough of him to slow his progress down. And the Salford Devils, unfortunately, they couldn't really do anything with the rest of that set. And then in the end, it was left to Tex Hoyt, who I think has been the standout for the Tigers so far this evening, to clean up once again.
Yeah, just to reiterate on the Sam Hall, by the way, if you missed it at the start of the night, he's not played since last July. Against Salford, he got a nerve injury, really bad nerve injury, didn't he? I think at one stage they were talking about the end of this season, but he's back midway through, so that is good. From his point of view, I'm sure he'll be delighted to be back out there, smelling the grass, feeling the adrenaline. Shorrocks. Sangare comes bursting in. He's held up. 20 away. Sam Davis is on the field in that dummy half position. This is Masters. Still spinning, still the option of an offload, but they just swarm around him. Make sure that option is taken away from him. So Davis. Briley. Ryan, well read by Cini.
Brilliant tackle, Zach Cini.
Vaughan. Jackie Chan, another of the on-loanees from Wigan. Davis. Shorrocks. Briley now, putting that kick to the corner. McDonald's up there. There's a touch off a Castleford play that went backwards, but then everything else went backwards into the in-goal area, and it's a dropout underneath the sticks.
Well, that's a little bit more like it from the Red Devils. The Castleford Tigers scramble defence has been excellent. And Zach Cini lined up Ryan Briley, I think it was. The Castleford Tigers, actually, there's a case to be argued there for an offside. It came off Sam Wood into the hands of Dejan Assi.
Yeah.
So arguably got the better of the two options here, the Tigers.
Well, yeah, we heard the referee saying it went backwards, but like you, I thought the naked eye, it looked as though it might have gone forward. Nicarima. Sangare comes running back. Almost, we're getting close to the halfway mark of the Super League. Next week starts Lee Hull and Warrington Hull KR. Two big games Thursday, Friday. Huddersfield St Helens also on Friday night. That's an interesting fixture. Catalan against Wigan on Saturday, which is preceded by Cass against Leeds. Briley puts it back to Nicarima. Wakefield Salford next Sunday, and that is out of play. That is out of play.
The idea was right, and then McDonald. I actually think Hankinson could maybe have been a little deeper there. You're never going to get short side stuff like that. You're never going to get an awful lot of time to play. You've got to catch and pass and trust that your man outside is in the right position.
Salford owners are here today, we are told, and there they are. That's what they look like. We've not heard a lot publicly from them, have we, since their arrival at the club? The only thing we do know is things do not seem to have improved, and the news this last week that Salford Council saying they are pulling out of talks with those owners for the purchase of the stadium. That leaves a lot of question marks hanging in the air. Cini with a carry. Atkin has a wait. Now it's Milnes. Milnes trying to sashay past defenders, but Briley's tackle is a telling one. Last play here for Cass. 5 metres inside that Salford half. And Ethan Ryan underneath it, all the time in the world to watch it. No pressure on him, and he's able to run it back. and give Salford a half-decent starting position.
Yeah, had a bit of wobble on it, that kick as well from Dejanasi. It was well watched by Ethan Ryan, and 15 metres off the back of it as well. Tiaki Chan, and his second carry after coming on from the subs bench. He very often adds a little bit of impetus, doesn't he, for the Red Devils.
This now is Masters, and he's doing well, and Sini just came out and blocked the option of the pass there. It's possibly just as well. Briley skipping on. Here's Davis. Shorrocks trying to change direction, but Westerman gets to him, and two more are there as well. And now Salford hit the last. It's going to be another kick. Well, they're going down that blind side, and Vaughan knocks it down. It's picked up by Sim. Zero tackle. Cass back with it.
Just a bit over-ambitious, wasn't it? Just rifled the ball out to Johnny Vaughan, who couldn't take it in, and now to compound things, the Red Devils have conceded a penalty. This will see a march back upfield again, so from going from, again, a promising attacking position, they've pressed the self-destruct button, the Red Devils, and they're now going to find themselves defending probably towards the end of this set, inside their own red zone once again.
Bring it forward.
Tap at Salford defenders were willing to go further back than that. The referee had to order them back downfield to start their defensive duties. Atkin. Again, it's a miss-out pass, and it releases Innes Senior down this left-hand side. He has support from Tex Hoy, and Hoy will simply romp over for his second of the game. He's been involved in so much positivity today for Castleford, and he gets a brace, and Cass race out to a 22-0 lead.
Looked really clinical, didn't it? Just good decision-making. Tex Hoy, I know Innes Senior will get the try assist technically, but he's kind of created his own try there. He'll get the assist and the 4 points because it's the pass. It's just awareness on the run, sees Hankinson dropping in on Sam Wood, and he releases the speeds to Innes Senior on the outside, supports back up the channel, and Tex Hoy grabs his second of the evening, just sums the defence up in a split second. He had Chris Hankinson making a beeline for him, so he found the winger on the outside and takes a return pass for Castleford's fourth try. Taking a look from a different angle, just sees out the corner of his eye Hankinson dropping in. Innes Senior promotes the ball 40 metres up the field and provides the try assist for Tex Hoy, who I think has been hands down the best player in a Tigers shirt this evening so far.
Well, if it stays like this, I think we might be chatting to him after the game, John. I'd be surprised if you were picking him as player of the match, but you've got another 30 minutes of action before you have to make that consideration, and who knows?
He's been good both sides of the ball, I think. Yeah. You know, it's very easy to shine in attack when you're against an opposition that's low on confidence and making positional mistakes like that. But it's that other stuff on the other side of the ball, you know, defensive reliability and understanding his role there, I think has been super impressive.
Wasn't his dad a surfing champion?
It's just amazing research, Dave.
Yeah, his dad was a surfing champion, and you can see that in him. You can see he's got a laid-back look to him, has he? The kick's gone over. It's 4 out of 4, 24 points to 1.
This is why it's great working with you. I need you to expand on that now. This was riding the big wave, wasn't he? Pass out to Innes Senior. He's great to watch in full flow, isn't he? And then Tex Hoy, who covers the ground very, very well, and isn't he happy?
Well, if you name him man of the match, we'll ask him about his dad, eh? I'll give you that promise. Here we go. Just a case of one last play before the half-time hooters sounds here, and Brad Singleton again up against some very recent teammates. Will take that final play, will take that final tackle, and a very satisfying first half from Castleford's point of view. Salford have had their moments, but the difference is when Castleford have had their moments, they have struck, and they have scored 4 tries to none in that first half. They are on course for only their 3rd win of the season, but there's still 40 minutes to go, and who knows what comes next. Well, we'll be with you in just a few moments. When we know what will come next, we'll be having a look back at some of those tries. Well, welcome back. Castleford leading by 24 points to nil after that first half display, as we saw that. The statistics that we saw, everything very, very balanced, other than what that scoreline reads. So Castleford have really taken their chances when they have been offered, and I'm sure he's quite a happy man at the moment, Danny Maguire. Looking for a third win of the season. There was delight around these parts when they beat Salford, I should say, back in March for that first win, that Judah Rimbu try and celebration in front of the Cas fans. Well, at the moment it's not looking as though it's going to be as tight as that night. It's very much in Castleford's pocket as it stands. John, how do things change?
Well, I think Paul Rowley has got to go and reassure his players that they're going to have plenty more opportunities. This is not a Castleford Tigers side of any particular vintage in 2025. This is a team and a squad and a town in transition. So there are opportunities that are going to be there for them. The problem that Salford have had is when they've got in position, they've majorly fluffed their lines. So that would be a huge part of it. And then the other thing as well, I think they've handed the Castleford Tigers certainly 2 of those tries with some really basic defensive misreads. So just little tweaks here and there. It just goes to show you how quickly on one side of the ledger things can start to unravel if you're not quite on your game. So won't be panic stations for Paul Rowley, and he's been here several times before this season.
So expectancy amongst those Castleford supporters. A win today here for Cas, and they're not far from the mix of the top 6, but for them to be a challenger for the top 6 looks implausible.
Yeah, they ain't making the top 6 in 2025. It's been a really poor start to the season. They've ended up in a situation as well where they've gone to try and bolster the squad, but it has been about trying to grab players that were available rather than targeting positions where they probably need to bolster. I think they started the season really only 2 recognised specialist back rowers in Alex Mellor and Jeremiah Simbikin. It's certainly an area where they would be looking to strengthen if you could target it, but they don't find themselves with that luxury at the moment. They just have to bring bodies in where they can.
And of course, in that respect, they have Chris Chester in place. I mean, he's not going to work miracles this season, but we saw what a great job he did at Lee in that regard. And
I think from Castleford Tigers fans' point of view, there's a recognition there from the board that is an issue that they can really make some strides in now. Martin Jepson said he's going to make that chequebook available to Chris Chester. I understand talks are already underway about bringing players in this year and for next.
Martin Jepson here today, by the way. We are told he's a big Crystal Palace fan apparently, and I think he was at Wembley yesterday, but he's back.
He was at Wembley yesterday. I saw him earlier, and he was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. He said he had a bit of a celebration, but then went home for a cup of tea because he knew he had to get back up the M1 for tonight's game.
Well, he'll have enjoyed his weekend, seeing Crystal Palace making history yesterday and watching his Castleford side making decent progress in this game so far. Salford need to score next. It's an oft-used quote on occasions like this, but it's an obvious one. And even then, there's no certainty of a comeback.
Good tackle. Great work from Joe Shorrocks. He really took the line forward then, saw the threat from Tom Amone, and made this last play the ball a slow one.
Akin slings it out and kicked away from Assi. Salford looking to launch something from deep if they can, but Hankinson dealt with.
And that's how they build back into the game, Dave. You know, just a selfless act from Shorrocks. They put themselves in a much better starting position.
Well, it's looking nice, and suddenly Ryan's got an overlap to work with, and Vaughan, he's turned Hoy inside out, and it was the recovering tackle of Cini which has saved Castleford's skins. But look where Salford are. Some lovely stuff there. Can they back that up? Masters having a look around, just tries to burst again, keeps it alive, does really well. Davis takes them even closer. The ball is played and Chan is the man who picks up. Shorrocks just shuffling forward. No real threat with that carry, but the platform still played. Is Chan. Castleford's defence on its own line, having to work hard at the moment. Davis again, eventually. Sam Davis, eventually. Back it goes to Briley. Nicarima stepping out there. Masters puts the foot on it. Hankinson trying to lead the chase, but Wood's back to tidy things up. But Cats are forced into a dropout underneath the sticks.
Yeah, much better start, but it's come at some cost for Salford Red Devils. Ethan Ryan was, after he was pulled down by Zaxini, he's now receiving treatment on the field. We're going to take a look at that break now. And just again, you know, some smart play, some good lines, and then a nice little pass to release Ethan Ryan down the outside. And he turned Tex Hoy inside out before Zaxini, number 3, kind of gets caught underneath, and it's maybe Tex Hoy gets, it's a knee problem for Ethan Ryan, who did look in a bit of trouble, but maybe this is starting to ease off a little bit, and the fullback takes his place back in the line. That's a good sign. It just looked awkward, didn't it, in the tackle, but they do get another shot here.
Nicarima, ball bounces into his hands. Chan now will charge it in. Castleford looking to resist this enthusiasm, which is burning bright for Salford at the moment. Hammered in by Sangare. Plays, Davis out, Briley's involved, back to Nicarima again. The short pass to Foster, who has ripped through. 2 defenders were there, RC and Wood, but they couldn't hold on. And a much-deserved Salford try that matches their enthusiasm at the start of this second half.
I'll tell you what, it's a really, really good start to the second half from Salford. They played deep. You can take all that back to that effort Joe Shorrock's made on the 4th tackle on Tom Amone. It changed the dynamic at the end of the set for the Tigers. RC was under pressure, and then from that next attacking set, they got a repeat. You fast forward to the end of that set, and it's try time. This was the kick from Masters, and then it's a lovely cushioned ball from Jaden Nicarima, and a great line from Matty Foster. It's just rewards, but I'll tell you what, I think Foster and Nicarima and Briley, the architects of that try, would nod to Joe Shorrock's, and those little unrewarded, it seems at times, efforts that you make can sometimes lead to really good consequences for your team.
Well, they have started each half with great endeavour, haven't they? And they had moments, as we said in that first half, they had plenty of them. They just couldn't find a finish. Well, now they have, and suddenly it makes it a little more interesting here. Kick converted by Briley. 24 points to 6. Still mark Castleford as very warm favourites to win here, but Salford are just creating a bit of self-belief.
Yeah, it's just nice shape, and for once they had the right men in the right holes at the right time. And Matty Foster hits a great lead line, provides a brilliant pass option for Jaden Nicarima. You mentioned they had to score first, they did. And it didn't take them long, did it? And Paul Rowley would be really, really pleased. Paul Rowley and Kurt Haggerty to his left with the start that the Red Devils have made to the second half.
Poached by Briley, and Chan will lead the chase again here. Taking Salford a few more steps downfield. Davis out. MacDonald. He's looked fresh and vibrant, hasn't he? Throughout the game. Davis again. Just tries to duck between those 2 defenders. Milnes and Westerman. Oh, a slip. But off he goes again. MacDonald just inside the Castleford half. Salford desperate to go back-to-back tries here. Shorrock's short, Sangare couldn't quite drag his big frame through. Davis again. Nicarima sticks it up there. The chase is on. Senior underneath it, but it's Hankinson who got a hand on that and battered it back. 0 tackle, Cass have it.
Yeah, I just felt Joe Shorrock's maybe instead of the line ball to Sangare, there was an option out the back. They certainly had players. Here's Shorrock's again leading the line, makes first contact.
Well, you can tell by the 13 on his back that he's one of the originals, one of the original Devils from the start of the season. There's been plenty of goings and a sprinkling of comings, but 1 or 2 faces have stayed the same. Shorrock's, and here's Briley, another of those.
He's been a real constant, hasn't he? And I would imagine one of the first on the team sheet, almost by default at times, from Paul Rowley. Oh, I'll tell you, that's a good read as well. So you've got Ethan Ryan, who's moved to the wing. I think he's probably still nursing that knee injury. Esan Masters to full-back, but that's a great defensive read.
Oh, and that's a poor pass. It was forward. Atkin, against his former teammates, has to apologise to his new teammates for a mistake that has given Salford a real foothold here.
Yeah, I don't like these. I suppose it's, you know, it is allowed. I just don't. I never thought that was part of the game. The old pulling the arm down. It's Hankinson. Feels like a shortcut to me. But Salford Red Devils won't be arguing, will they? They'll get another option.
Shortcuts get you where you need to go in quicker time, John.
Yeah, just going back to Joe Shorrocks, he's one of those players, and he really rolls his sleeves up. He's not a superstar by any means, but really, really valuable to a coach. Played a number of positions, always gives his very, very best. And he's leading the way for the Red Devils at the moment. They're enjoying a bit of a purple patch.
It's Ryan who's feeding. And it's Briley who carries first. And Nicarima now scuttering and skirting forward again. Tony Warren inside the 20. Salford are poised here. 5 tackles to have a go, and they're in very decent position as Chan tries to improve that. Davis having a little glance around. Which way is he going? It's the way of Sangaré. Davis. Back to Briley. Briley puts it back, and here's good stuff. And MacDonald with a twist and the turn and a reach to score. Well, it's been a long time between drinks and celebrations for Nenny MacDonald. Hasn't played for Salford since March. He's been to Oldham and Down Under, all points of the earth in between. Well, he's now scored a try, and it's back-to-back for Salford.
And there must have been alarm bells ringing at the Weldon Road end when Nenny MacDonald got the ball 10 metres out at pace, because that is a real threat, a real weapon in attack. He showed his athleticism on a number of occasions early in this first half, but when Esan Masters finds him in a little bit of space, there's very little anybody could do. And the sharp intake of breath from the 2,000-3,000 Castleford Tigers fans at that end of the stadium just have to sit back and watch as their right edge is dismantled by what is a really potent attacking weapon for the Red Devils in the shape of Nenny MacDonald.
Well, 24-0 seemed a pretty perilous place to be for Salford. 24-10 and possibly 24-12, and suddenly there's sunshine on the horizon again for them.
Yeah, and some smiles as well on that back row. They've got talent in this side. There's no arguing with that, and they've got experience as well. It's putting it together when there's so many different changes in personnel week in, week out, month in, month out.
Briley's kick, how good does that look? Not good enough, not quite good enough. So 24 points to 10 it stays. But there's a contest to be enjoyed now, and they are enjoying it, those Salford fans. On the terraces at the railway end of this famous old stadium. Hasn't changed much down the years, has it? Lick of paint here or there.
I think it's probably had the majority of its change. It's been open since 1926, this stadium.
Has it?
And it's probably seen more changes in the last 18 months than it has in previous 100 years.
As he gets it underway with that boot upfield, and try scorer MacDonald is the man who catches, and once again it's Chan who leads the charge. Davis. This is MacDonald with a skip and a push.
Oh, he's so dangerous, isn't he?
Davis. A scooting step back towards the middle of the field again, but
like this kid as well, Harvey Wilson. It's just his 14th top flight appearance. Still only 21 years of age, but on the occasions that I've watched the Red Devils, is another one who, for me, I think may emerge from this season with a great deal of credit.
He's another ex-Wigan, that, isn't he? He was at Wigan Academy, Harvey Wilson. Sangaré. One play to go. Davies picks up, goes right. Nicarima's there, and of course he puts it up in the air, but Hoy's there, travelling well, catches well. It's a bump to the chest for his pains from Foster, but he's got the ball, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, nice and tidy at the back. Nicarima rushed into the kick, and there's a bit of interplay now between the Castleford Tigers backs. And Josh Sim makes an impressive 15 metres after contact.
Not quite alarm bells ringing for Castleford, but certainly some concern, and they're switching back on here. We talked about scoring next. Well, Salford have done it twice. And it's creating something, and that is a decent carry by Milnes. Leaves Chan on the floor, picked up by Sinny. Singleton's to his left. Sinny fancies a go himself. And they've got one to go, and are 22 metres away. Up goes the kick from Assi. Oh, it's knocked backwards. Well, the referee says play on. Looked like there were knock-ons a go-go there, but the referee said it all went backwards, and so Salford are able to carry on.
Rather than trying to unravel it, he just decided the best place was...
He'd have probably come to the same conclusion. Salford's ball, but...
Let them crack on. So the Castleford Tigers then, they've been shaken into life here in this second half, because the first 10 minutes have belonged to the visiting team. Unrecognisable, certainly at the back end of sets from what we saw in the first half.
We've got a very decent game in our hands here, haven't we?
Yeah, the sun's out, Sunday afternoon, last game of the weekend. Can we finish round 11 with a flourish?
Where would you rather be? This is Salford looking again to make a dent. Wilson.
The Maldives. This is a close second, Dave.
Chan. Masters, and now they've isolated, and here's an opportunity for Hankinson. Ball back on the inside. It was a poor pass. It's picked up by Amon, who's clearing his lines, and at the end of that, Castleford find themselves 30 metres out. I thought Hankinson had a chance of scoring himself there.
I think there's potentially a claim here that Nicarima had been pulled back, and he was pulled back by Senior, and you can see why he's aggrieved at that. Missed by the referees on field.
Now the dash forward again here.
Is that a key moment in the game, Dave? Because I think potentially there was a penalty there.
Yep, score there, and Salford, my goodness. Atkin throwing it left, Lawler. Assi. I think Sam Hall has gone off temporarily. Here's Hoy with a wonderful little bursting run as well. Ball goes to ground. Referee says play on. Hoy was claiming there was interference from Salford players there, but decision doesn't go his way.
Yeah, probably evened itself up a little there, because I feel like there was a Red Devil's hand in there, but very often... No, it was a clean pass. That's right. It was just an attempted offload. Oh, wow!
Skittle. I actually think Assi's hurt himself there, but he's just dived at the legs of Ormonroyd, and there's lots of leg to aim at, isn't there? He sent him toppling over. Bang! Well, he stumbled away from it as well, did Assi. One play to go. Going to be a kick. Briley puts it up there. Hoy's underneath it. Looking to get back, staying in the sunshine. A little bit of balance of power switching Cassie's way here, because they start a set close to the halfway, but they don't get much further on the second tackle. In fact, they might have lost a yard or two.
The Red Devils are going hunting here as well. Ormonroyd out the line this time. There's a bit of pace been injected into this line speed. Too much
pace, yeah. Offside.
Oh, this is the break as well. Take a look at Jaden Nicarima, 6 white, getting pulled back by Innes Senior, yellow number 5, and you can see just as the pass was coming in, maybe a huge momentum swing in the game that, Dave.
Well, it's proved to be a settler from Castleford's point of view, because they now find themselves back where they want to be, with Mustafa driving in on that first occasion, and with 5 plays to go, there is just a feeling of enthusiasm and expectation amongst the Castleford fans. Singleton down, Atkin collects, Milnes, Mustafa, oh, he took some holding onto, and they just about did, but they've held on too long. So another set of 6 to come. Mills now with a dummy, saw the gap, daylight was there, but it suddenly became darkness as three Salford defenders come covering in. Atkin, Westerman, Lawler. Well, he's set a platform.
Just watching what Tex Hoy's doing here. He's drifting to the left. Oh, Atkin goes right.
Atkin goes right, and Westerman looking to pop that one over the top if he could, but there were bodies in the way. Salford defenders making a real nuisance of themselves. But there's still plenty of tackles to go. 3 to go. Lawler, Hoy, and the short pass. Oh, my goodness, the door almost open for Mellor to go sprinting through. Hoy across, Mills now gets it away. Mustafa with a dummy and diving in. And Salford's resources stretched beyond their limits. Muiz Mustafa, I rather think that's only his second try of the season, but what a big one it might prove to be, just to give Castleford a bit more of a stability now.
Yeah, I think so. Just extend the lead and snuff out that really enterprising start to the second half from the Salford Red Devils. A couple of momentum swings in the last 5 minutes, some nice build-up play as well. Tex Hoy, I think everything good has come through him. Just a great pass to Alex Mellor, and then another great pass to Rowan Milnes, and the defence just overreads a little. Mustafa sees the gap open up directly underneath the uprights and dots down. This will be converted, and there'll be a 20-point margin here, which you feel as bright as the Salford Red Devils have started this second half is maybe enough of a cushion for the Tigers to go on and register another win.
Didn't score a single try last year, Lewis, in his 30 appearances, but he's got a couple to his name this year. So Rowan Milnes keeping his 100% record, 5 out of 5 and 30 points to 10. As we edge towards the final quarter of the game, Salford have threatened to come back. Have Castleford snuffed it out?
Yeah, I think that try really does take the wind out of the sails of the Red Devils. The Tigers, they have impressed me. I think when they've got in position, they have been really clinical this evening. We've not been able to say that often enough about the Tigers this season.
Briley restarts. Cine catches. Singleton leads the charge. They're quick to close him down before it really got going. Roy spins left. Cine bundled down again. Lawler. Got arms free and he got extra yards as he dashed it through. Kick for a 40-20, but it's been easily covered. Hinkinson with the return. Trying to get into the touchline, but the referee's bellowing, held. Briley, again this width, this lateral movement from Salford with ball. Castleford watch it carefully. Vaughan, offside against Castleford. The Salford fans are cheering extendedly, which rather suggests they feel they've been on the wrong end of the referee's calls today.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 players in the middle of the field that, because the speed of the play, the ball never really had a chance to get back on side. So are we about to see another shift in momentum?
Making. Davis. Here is carried by Wilson. Davis. Another set for Salford to work with, but Ormond Royd. Ball been stolen by Atkins, so the referee says play on. And Davis goes skipping forward again, and they've got a full set, more or less, to have a go at this line again. It's proving quite a points fest in the second half so far. Are there more to come here? Nikarima stops, puts it in reverse. Back to the middle again. Masters flicks away, and a brave dive in there just to block it out. I think it was Atkin who read that.
Yeah, it's just again more overplay from Isan Masters. You know, one of the more experienced players in that Salford Red Devils side. He's twice now in this game he's overplayed his hand.
Westerman. Sini.
Good footwork, hasn't he seen it? Good footwork at the line. Always sees him ride that first tackle.
It's another 8-9 metres as well. Atkins spins it back to the middle. Lauder with a catch in the pouch, checking into the line, leading that line of attack. Keeping Salford wondering whether it's going to be a pass or a drive. On that occasion, it was heavily taken in. There's one to go. Atkin again, spinning it out. And a lovely little kick through from Mellor. The chase is on here, and I think Tex Hoy might just have got there. We're going to the video ref to ask about onside and offside, but it was like a flash of lightning in a yellow shirt that came flying in. Let's hear from the video ref.
Okay, we're checking onside, offside, pause the ball on the foot. Mellor kicks the ball, everyone is onside, so we're going to then go to the grounding. Where does Tex Hoy come from? We'll just confirm that. Yeah, Tex Hoy is onside, so we'll go to the grounding. Okay, Tex Hoy touches the ball there and appears to ground the ball. I'm just going to go to the reverse angle, make sure there's no separation. Just going to check camera 5. Okay, camera 8 is going to be my best view. He takes possession and grounds the ball. I've viewed the angles I need. I've made my decision.
Wow, my goodness. Where did he come from? How did he get there? Well, the burst of speed was breathtaking. It's a hat-trick for Tex Hoy, confirmed on the big screen, and that surely now does put Castleford within touching distance of the win.
Yeah, it snuffs out the fight back, and Tex Hoy, his fourth, the season's third. I'm going to take you back and play here because it's been difficult at times to see who's been playing fullback. It's Ryan Brierley. You see, he's just organising his troops, and he's sat in that dead space behind the ruck. They get 2 late retreats. Ryan Brierley feels like he has to stay in that defensive line, starts to fill in, then gets caught. Mellor spots him and knows that there's space in behind, and Tex Hoy has then got the footwork, he's got the pace to get there. It's really smart work that from Alex Mellor, because he's seen Ryan Brierley, who was operating for that set in the fullback position. He felt like he had to drop into that defensive line and taken advantage of by Mellor, scored by Hoy.
Well, Rowan Milnes looking to add the 2 to make it 6 out of 6 and 36 points to 12. Tex Hoy, a hat-trick hero.
I get the feeling we might be able to find out a little bit more about what his dad did on the waves, because this is a player of the match performance. That's Tex Hoy's first. This was his second. Don't forget, he found the pass to his senior before taking the return ball for his second. Those both in the first half, and then we've just seen his hat-trick try following up from a really cute, really intelligent kick into space from Alex Mellor. What
I can tell you is I can confirm that his dad, Matt Hoy, is a professional surfer. Well, this is a concern. Nikarima going off with a bad ankle. Oh, that's a knock-on. Castleford will get it back. The other thing we're going to be asking Tex Hoy about is his godmother, because...
save that then, save that.
The Sky Elves, if you can describe Terry O'Connor as a Sky Elf, tells us that Matty John's wife, Trish, is Tex Hoy's godmother.
Right. They're going to challenge the decision of a knock-on here. It was a long way down, wasn't it? Was it Warren or Ormonroyd? Both of those are... There's plenty of height on them.
Okay, we have a captain's challenge. Salford are challenging the decision of a knock-on. Okay, that's backwards from McDonald. So then we're going to go to the potential pickup. And the ball is lost. Challenge is unsuccessful.
Yeah, it was Warren, wasn't it? It was. I couldn't tell from this distance. Warren or Ormonroyd, two of the 6'4", 6'5". It's a long way to stoop to gather up cleanly, isn't it?
Well, both challenges have been wasted. Neither successful. So no challenges left, as the referee's just letting Salford know, as he's already told Castleford. It's a rare occasion here for Cas fans, isn't it, that they can sit back and actually enjoy the final 16 minutes of a game, knowing with a degree of certainty that their team are going to win here.
Yeah, it's been a fraught 2025, hasn't it? And this will go a long way to banishing some pretty big lowlights from Magic Weekend a fortnight ago when they were drubbed by the local rivals.
You never say never, but here's Cini with a wonderful break again with that footwork that John was picking out a little earlier. And Castleford are looming large again on that Salford goal line. Hoy picks up and in it goes to Mills. Cini, Assey rather, on again, but Salford's defence recovering well enough. Atkin and Singleton. That will hurt Salford, won't it, seeing those two on the opposite side. Mustafa getting a low centre of gravity to try and skirt through. Atkin picks up again. Mills across the Hoy. Hoy's pass. Westerman. Oh, that was not a great pass from Westerman. Forward pass.
Yeah, all looked good, didn't it, until the last ball. Westerman had to act a little bit quicker than he thought he would. He was going to have to. Johnny Vaughan made the decision to come in. And Josh Sim just puts the ball down.
So encouragement here from Castleford, which you'd think would be a win today. But here's what's coming next in the next few weeks. Leeds at home, Warrington away, Hull away, Hull KR home, Wigan at home. There are some demanding games there, and if they can pull up 2-3 wins out of that, then that would be pretty decent, wouldn't it? It's a big if.
Yeah, and a lot of this is about, you know, retaining or re-engaging their support base, and also, you know, we talked about recruitment earlier. You know, Chris Chester's trying to bring quality players in to a side sat in 10th. That conversation is a lot easier if this is a side that is just on the fringe of the playoffs.
Sure, it's past just bouncing off Toby Warren. Referee says knock on.
We've seen too much of that, haven't we? There was a real purple patch to start this second half where things really just started to click for the Red Devils. They've regressed, it seems, as we head into the last 15 minutes of the game, and there's just passes not going to hand, not crisp enough.
That's a good question, referee. What are you waiting for, Joe Westerman? Let's play the ball. Let's get on with the game. 13 minutes to play. Cast with that 26 points lead, so that obviously represents a 5-score lead that they have at the moment. Westerman. Atkin. It's man of the moment. Hoy again. Atkin with a scamper. Westerman more direct. Atkin again. Milne puts it up there. Hankinson underneath with a catch under no real pressure, and 5-6 defenders near to him, so the pass Almost provides a release for Ryan Briley there. Simply no way forward for Hankinson in that situation. These are Salford's next 5 games. Wakefield away, as you can see, next Sunday, as we mentioned earlier, and then 3 on the bounce at home: Wigan, Saints and Hull FC, and then Saints away again. Well, they'll have nightmares about Saints away, won't they? Was that, what was it, 82, 84-0 on the first weekend? Different outfit this time around, you'd imagine. Here's Davis. That's a nice little offload from him as well, and Hill will take it on. Straight from making.
Good carry.
Where's this going? Into the hands of Briley. A little bit of pressure on him, puts it up, Vaughan underneath it. Not the greatest place to take the ball, so he hands it back on the inside. It's still the last play. Shorrocks with a kick over the top. Davis has appeared there from nowhere, but in his shadow is Dejan Asi, who puts him down. So this is what's coming up next week. Looking forward already to next week, round 12 next week. Lee Hull on a Thursday night, Sky Sports Plus. Warrington Hull KR Friday night. That'll be a bombastic one. Huddersfield against St Helens also on Friday night. That's a fascinating matchup. Catalan against Wigan is Sky Sports Action on Saturday. Earlier on in the day on Sky Sports Plus, it's Cass against Leeds. Cass, no doubt, lifted by what they've done here today. And Wakefield against Salford rounds it off on Sunday.
It looks like Texoy has been wrapped up in cotton wool. I think with 10 minutes to go, they've decided that he can take a breather. The match in the bag, and we welcome Lewis Senior back from a long absence, Dave.
Yeah. Great to see Lewis Senior back as well. Last May, when he tore his quad, the last time he pulled on boots in anger. Atkin. Asi sticks it high. Hankinson job to do here because he's being tracked. Caught in the air by Miller, who gave himself away there.
Yeah, he's done well as Hankinson. Just got his body in between Alex Miller and the ball. Miller, to be fair to me, never really tried to take Hankinson out. He just ended up bumping into him. But that is a penalty, tackling a player whilst in the air, and that's the reason the Red Devils get to clear the lines.
Into the final 10.
Well, it's been entertaining, hasn't it, in patches. I think this is, you know, you've seen enough, and Tigers fans will go away this evening happy, but there's perhaps a little bit of a glimmer of something. Green shoots for Paul Rowley as well. They've made plenty of errors, yes, and they've failed to execute a lot of their positional and take advantage of a lot of position they had, but there have been glimmers here.
There's certainly nothing wrong attitudinally, is there, with Salford? They do well to keep their heads high despite everything that's going on around them. Ormonroyd. Eight and a bit minutes to go. Davis again. Hankinson sticks it high, and up in the air is a brilliant catch and take, but has seen Castleford emerging towards the halfway line again. Josh Sim imperious with that. Lawler. Horn back in position. Asi, that's lovely footwork again, and has support of Mellors there. And that will be another, and that definitely is it now. No coming back from there. Mellor the scorer, 40 points to 10.
Now, it was a touch of class, wasn't it, from Dejan Arce, and Alex Mellor deserves a try, I think. A really industrious performance by the back rower. Some great lines in attack. Plenty of the dirty work as well, the unseen stuff, but trace that back to a really dominant catch from Josh Sim, and then he goes searching upfield. I think key for the Castleford Tigers, the point of difference to the Red Devils, they don't overplay, they bide the time, and then a lovely little sharp step from Dejan Arce. We knew he had the class. He was brought over as a marquee signing by the Castleford Tigers, came from the Parramatta Eels. Touch of class there. He's had an understated start to life as a Tiger, but that's a piece of class. And it's a good finish from Alex Mellor, and well deserved, I think, as well.
Samoan international, isn't he, Dejanasi? As you said, a couple of years with Parramatta, 24 NRL appearances, which tells you he's no duck egg if it's 24 appearances in a couple of years. Mills adds it, 7 out of 7. 42 points to 10.
Well, I think that, you know, what we've seen there from the break from Sim and just the Tigers' willingness, the patience to get to the end of a set, not overplay, and that has been the real difference between the two sides. We saw at half-time, statistically, not an awful lot separating them in a lot of key metrics on the field. It's the one you can't really pinpoint from a stats point of view. If there was a stat for taking your opportunities, the Castleford Tigers have shown the way.
Is their heart for Salford to try and get something back before the end here. Well beaten, 42 points to 10, but still trying will be the mantra, I'm sure. Grounded. Mills. Lewis Senior wants a run here. Boy, does he want a run. It's been a long time. And then it goes. He'll be sore tomorrow, even if he's only played about 10 minutes of the game, won't he?
And he'd be really pleased as well. That first carry after such a long spell out. You can do all the training you like, but you never really know and get that confidence until you take a couple of carries like that. Here go the Tigers again.
Oh, seeing with a little double pump that almost fills the defence, but he loses the ball, and Johnny Vaughan comes up with it for Salford instead. Shadows lengthening a little, but still plenty of sunshine out there. It's not as warm as it has been in recent weeks. Fooled one or two of us who maybe became underdressed. It's still a sunny and bright day. And this is a man who's enjoyed himself today, MacDonald, making some shorrocks. Bowman-Royd.
Mustafa wasn't going to get fooled there. Riley looked back on the inside to Wilson, but he was nailed, wasn't he, by Mustafa?
Masters right into the line, and Tony Warren can't get any purchase on that because shoulders were right in him from the minute he had the ball in hand. Briley again. This is the last, so a little chip and a chase here, and Sini, well, deals with it.
Deputising at fullback, Dave, isn't he? Seen him. Texoy took his leave on 70 minutes, and the centre has moved to fullback. Just does enough there, plays it safe.
The noise you can hear, by the way, is the Salford fans. They do it everywhere. They do it everywhere. Talk about supporting your club. My goodness, how well they do.
Oh, heavy contact.
Penalty.
Well, Warren gets up to his credit. That was a high tackle, just a clear. I could hear the noise from up in the gantry here from Liam Horn. It was just an awkward contact.
Making with a drive, 5 plays to go here from Salford. I was going to say they're going to give their fans something to shout about. Well, they're shouting anyway. Briley's little kick to that in-goal area, and I think this is MacDonald with a try. It looked very calm and simple at the end. No celebration, because in terms of the contest, it doesn't mean much. But try on the field, so let's hear from the video referee again here.
Okay, we have a live call of try. We're checking onside, offside, pause the ball on the foot. Everyone to the left is onside. Go to the corner view. That's probably going to be blocked. Okay, MacDonald then takes possession and grounds the ball in the field of play. I've made my decision.
Well, 2 tries back on his comeback today for Danny MacDonald. The first one felt like it meant something. The second doesn't, but it's still nice for him to score.
Yeah, just a consolation. Super casual as well, wasn't he, Nene McDonald? And he's going to take some time before he gets fully up to speed. Try awarded, that's McDonald's second. And he's had a good afternoon. I would imagine the lungs will be burning a little bit. But there's no two ways about it. The Salford Red Devils are a better side with him in it. And it came from Ryan Briley as well, usually a fullback, operating the halves today. It's a lovely little cute kick off the right foot, and it just bounced up kindly for Nene McDonald.
Riley's kick, and has he found it? Yes, he has. And he just shaved the inside of the post as it went through. So 42-16.
That's a lovely kick, isn't it? It's a really, really nice kick. Just off the side of the right boot of Ryan Briley. And it's, look, it's too little too late, but...
We have seen mistakes here today, John, and you know, especially in that first half. But there has been some quality as well, and I'm guessing when you come to pick your player of the match, it's going to be the player who's produced the most quality today, who we've talked about plenty.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been a number of standout performances for the Tigers. I think Alex Mellor's had a really good afternoon. Zach Seeney's got through plenty of work in that right centre, but look, hands down, sometimes you can try too hard to think about this. Playing a match, hat-trick hero, Texoy, I think, for not just the tries, a couple of try assists in there and a lot of good defensive positional work as well.
He's in there somewhere. He's in there somewhere, hiding from the sunshine. But off the field, as we mentioned earlier. Chan. Oh, and that's off the head, the referee says. So this will count and RC will score. The referee says it came off a head unintentionally. Well, we saw Ryan Hall creating a try with a header.
We have a try just
earlier this year.
Off the head.
And we might have another headed assist here. Let's hear from the video referee again.
Okay, we have a live call of try. The on-field ruling is that it's lost forwards from Salford into the head of the Castleford man. And as you can see, that is correct. I'm just going to go to the wide to make sure that everyone's onside. So it's lost forwards into the Castleford man, so we're playing on to this point. Takes possession of the ball, we'll go straight to ground him. And the ball is grounded. I made my decision.
Simple one. Simple and quick. And it will be Dejanassi who's given the try. His own headed assist, but unintentionally off the pass that went forward. And this is going to be 46 points to 16 with a kick to come. There we go, confirmation of it. Lovely roar from the Cas fans.
Yeah, just look, the Red Devils, understandably, they're trying to do something, generate another opportunity to score some late points. It backfires on, didn't it? Fumble possession, and then a fortunate Falcon off the head of Dejanassi, who follows up the bouncing ball and dots down to the left-hand side of the uprights. Rome Mills has been perfect from the boot this evening, 7 from 7. He'll likely make this 8 from 8. Personal haul, 16 points for him and a 32-point margin.
Well, he'd only kicked 7 goals before today. He's now kicked 8 goals today, so he's more than doubled his season's tally with his performance today, 48-16.
Yeah, here's another look at Dejanassi's contribution. So it's a fumble from the Red Devils, and then Falcon picked up by the Castleford Tigers, number 6. He provided the try assist for Mellor's try, didn't he? 6 or 7 minutes ago, he gets a 4-pointer of his own in the dying embers of this game, applauded by Castleford Tigers coach Danny Maguire.
Poor early looks on forlornly at another defeat. Just the one win so far this season against Huddersfield, and that has been that. But as we can't stress too often and too much, with the background of all the mess that's going on at the Salford club. Senior's involved. Wood's involved, but Senior's going no further. Horn comes out of dummy half. Atkins there as well. Mills pops one over the top. That looks very good indeed for a run for Sim down this right-hand side. He's going all the way for the corner. Ryan Briley with a diving effort at the end, which puts some doubt in the referee's mind. Is this a wonderful defensive effort, or did Sim get there? Let's go to the video referee, as I suspect for one final time today.
Okay, we have a live call of no try. We're checking the grounding. Okay, the ball appears to come away from his grasp there. Let's have a look at the other angle. He's in the field of play. He's in possession, then he loses possession. Loses possession, the ball hits the ground and goes. Touch and goal. I've made my decision.
Well, they're not going to make the half-century. This is not going to happen.
Well, I was sat in the Castleford Tigers boot room earlier on today, talking to an old mate of mine, Stuart Bors, who's the kit man for the Tigers, and in walked Josh Sim. They had a bit of a conversation. He said, "Are you going to get a try this evening?" And he goes, "Oh, with a bit of luck." Unfortunately, there is no luck there, and you know, largely down to the chase from Ryan Briley, who puts enough pressure on Josh Sim just to make him fumble that ball. He doesn't get a try, but I tell you what, he'll be happy celebrating with his teammates in what has been a great win for the Tigers.
Yeah, confirmation with the Hooter standing in the background. Confirmation of the inevitable, as it has been. Certainly looked that way at half-time. Salford with a character-full fight back at the start of the second half suggested that something special was on here today, but Castleford reasserting their authority. I think it's 8 tries they have scored, and they have run away with it in the end. 48 points to 16. We're going to grab a word